Good day, viewers and subscribers. Welcome back to my channel. This is Girls Connection, the World Connection. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share. Also, click the notification bell to receive daily news updates locally and internationally. Stories coming up in today's news headlines are: Chinese business operators fearful, Saint and businesswoman killed, I did not know I would live, son's death puzzles mom, argument at Walton Bar ends in man's death, political commentator Martin Henry collapses and dies. Chinese business operators fearful. Members of the Chinese business community said they are terrified of what they describe as a targeted attack on their business by criminals. This follows Sunday morning's robbery at a Chinese-owned wholesale in Maypen, Clarendon. A video that has been circulating on social media showed heavily armed gunmen engaging policemen in a shootout while taking the owners as hostages. Kevin was in his wholesale in Crossroads, Kingston, talking to his cousin who also owns a business when he saw the video. It was like a movie. It made me feel so frustrated and angry. The government claims that them are going to do crime fighting and look how much high-powered weapon they on the streets, he said. Kevin said that he has been operating his business for 11 years and has had numerous robbery attempts. 2 years ago, they were trying to enter my building from the top. I had to call King Alarm, and someone was in here who had a firearm and went to challenge them, and they ran and left their pliers that they were using to get in, he said. Target Chinese. He added, the place just feel unsafe for us business people. Once them see a business I do good, we feel targeted. As them look on Chinese, them feel the Chinese have money. So them just target Chinese on a whole. Not saying that them not go offer other business people, but them target Chinese, he said. Another business operator in St. Catherine who has been operating a haberdashery for 5 years said that he was robbed at gunpoint in 2017. They acted like customers and wait outside in the morning. After we get inside, they held us at gunpoint and closed the door and started the robbery, he said. He said that the country must also be mindful that these robbers also affect Jamaicans. When they, the robbers, get into the business place, they don't just have the Chinese operator or owner, but they have all the customers and staff. This not only affects the business, it affects the economy and investments, he said. A Chinese wholesale owner in Manchester, who said he has been robbed on 2 occasions, said the Chinese business community is trying to raise funds to support the cops who got injured in the Maypen robbery. We know the police get hurt during the shooting situation, so we are collecting some money. We are getting donations. So far, we have collected between $400,000 and $500,000. We are supporting the people who try to protect us, she said. Saint and businesswoman killed, never found missing son she searched for. Janet Harley Lawrence, the Saint Ann woman who has been searching for her son for more than 17 years, was murdered at her home in Tower Isle, St. Mary early Tuesday morning. Her husband, Kirkland Lawrence, a member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, is in police custody. Deputy Superintendent Gary Flash told the media that the shooting took place at about 6:30 on Tuesday morning. We are currently conducting an investigation into an alleged case of murder. We can't give out any information now, but I can tell you that a police officer was involved. As soon as we are clear, we will update you further, Flash said. The police and the Independent Commission of Investigations are investigating the incident. Hardy Lawrence has been featured in the Jamaica Star and the Gleaner over the years after her son, Roger King, went missing several years ago. In 2018, there was a glimmer of hope as a young man who was trying to find his roots said that he was willing to do a DNA test to see whether he was her son, but the tests were never. Hardy Lawrence's mother, Elaine Stevenson, who was at the scene along with several other relatives, had to receive medication as she suffers from high blood pressure. My daughter got through hell. "My daughter have a son missing from him a 5-year-old and a struggle and a guan," she cried. "She am a basket, she am a everything." The crowd only had kind words for Hardy Lawrence, who started life as a vendor with a stall, fighting and overcoming the odds to become a successful businesswoman. She opened the store Cabotin de Chris Boutique in St. Anne's Bay and later became the owner of the plaza where it is located. Hardy Lawrence has staged several pageants, sponsored various events, and was known to support charitable causes. One young woman said Hardy Lawrence was one of her biggest role models. "Growing up as a teenager, sometimes we need clothes. We go to her store and she would give us a suit for the Christmas," she said. "It's a shock to everybody. She fight for everything she have. She no bad mind, she no grudgeful. Me remember when my mother dead, as she sponsor everything for the dead yard. I did not know I would live." Cop hurt in Maypen shooting tells horrifying tale. One of the cops injured in Sunday's daring daylight robbery in Maypen, Clarendon, has recounted the horrifying event in which he nearly lost his life. The sergeant, who was shot in the abdomen and leg, said that he would not have survived without the help of his colleagues. "I told my colleagues to go and leave me, but they said they are not leaving," he said, sharing that he was with 2 other policemen when the shooting began. It is reported that minutes after 9 a.m., 2 vehicles carrying several gunmen were seen at a supermarket in Gneptree along Main Street, Maypen. The robbers were surprised by the police and opened fire at them. 2 cops, including the sergeant, were shot and injured. A white Toyota Probox motor car that was being driven by the gunmen crashed along Howard Avenue in the town after another cop challenged them as they sought to escape. 17-year veteran. The sergeant estimated that he was on the ground for between 15 to 20 minutes waiting for help. "Another police brave it now and turn on the M16, he said, as he related how his colleague sought to repel the gunmen in order to save him. "And while the shot a fire, them policeman brave it and hold me back and draw me behind a wall," said the 17-year veteran of the force. He continued, "I never experienced anything like this in all my years as a police. It was very terrible. I did not know I would live, to be honest. My colleagues, they never leave me in spite of what happened. They said they would die with me." Today, the cop is counting his blessings and he is grateful that none of his organs had been damaged. He said that the bullet entered his abdomen and exited through his back. However, he said that he almost lost one of his legs after he was hit by a bullet from a high-powered weapon. "The foot was dangling, it almost come off," he said. Son's death puzzles mom. Arlene Brown was planning to bury her father on June 22, but now she will also have to make funeral arrangements for her son, 33-year-old Rajay Allen, who was shot and killed early Tuesday morning in Palmer's Cross, Clarendon. Cavell Jacket, a 17-year-old student of Coatspen in Maypen, was also killed in the same incident. Brown, who is an ardent Christian, is now drawing on her faith to deal with the loss of her son, who she described as hardworking and fun to be around. Recalling the last conversation with Allen, she said that they spoke about life and about his grandfather's death. "I even invited him to a prayer meeting. When my nephew called and told me about his killing, I was in shock. I just burst into tears," Brown said. "It is very hard. I went to bed a mother of 3 and woke up with only 2. According to the police, at approximately 5:25 a.m., Allen and Jacket were at home when gunmen forcefully entered the premises and opened fire, hitting them. The police were later alerted by residents who heard the gunshots. The injured men were taken to the hospital where Allen was pronounced dead while Jacket died in surgery. Brown said that she does not know why Allen was killed because he was a popular selector and was loved in his community. Allen also died leaving a 2-month-old baby. Argument at Waltham Bar ends in man's death. An argument with 2 men ended with one losing his life at the end of a shotgun blast at a bar on Waltham Park Road in St. Andrew on Tuesday night. The dead man has been identified as Junior Franklin, 27, also called Buju, a laborer of Angola Road, Kingston 11 address. Police report that about 11:15 p.m., Franklin was inside a bar having a drink with other customers when a dispute developed between himself and another male patron. The man left the bar but returned shortly after, armed with a shotgun, from which he let off a blast into Franklin's chest before fleeing the scene. Franklin was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The police have since launched a manhunt for the assailant but have not yet released his identity. Political commentator Martin Henry collapses and dies. Noted educator and political commentator Martin Henry has died. Collapsed Tuesday evening, moments after leaving the TVJ studio, where he commented on the passing of former Prime Minister Edward Seaga during the television station's primetime news segment. He was rushed to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Henry, 61, was a long-serving columnist for the Gleaner newspaper. Tributes to Henry have been pouring in on social media, including from Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Holness sent condolences to the family, friends and colleagues of Martin, who he said has made a significant contribution to our education system, as well as being a strong advocate of transparency and good governance. This is Girls Connection, the World Connection. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share. Also, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Thank you.